Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Apologies for my voice. I've got really bad hay fever at the moment. It's insanely bad here, specifically today for some reason, I don't know why. But nevertheless, today we're going to go find Vernon ROCHE, who is actually fairly close to the Vagabond estate, so that actually worked out really well. That was an accidental Quen, but it worked out kind of well. Before we start, actually... Alright, we're back. I just had to set up my mouse quick binds. Because, as always, for some reason, I think it's Windows updates. I currently allowed my Windows 10 to update finally. And it did like 50 updates. But, unfortunately, that messes with all my other programs. But, it's something I can deal with, I suppose. It's been a while since I've actually walked through the wilderness in this game. Ah, there we go, Temerian Partition Hideout. For those who don't know Vernon ROCHE, you should play The Witcher 2, it's great.
Looking for Roche.
No one here by that name. Anything else?
I see. And behind you, that's a berry picker's camp?
We're, bird watchers.
Let me guess. That sword's in case you run into a hornbill.
No. Hornbills aren't endemic to this area. Don't migrate here either.
Gonna walk in the camp now.
Aye. Naturally.
And you're gonna go look for hornbills.
Aye. I'm going, indeed.
That was unnecessary, Geralt. So this is the Temerian... Is this guy literally just gonna go off looking for... I'm gonna follow him. I've never done this before. Hey, Roach.
What the fuck you accosting me for?
What the fuck are you doing? You're going to look out for a bird that's not endemic to the area. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of intrigued where he goes. I'm not that interested in where he goes though, so let's go. Excuse me. I think he's probably just walking until he's out of our sight.
Geralt of Rivia. Safe and sound.
Vernon Roche, Temeria's last hope.
Laugh all you want. Temeria will rise again.
Roche, I cannot abandon them.
Hey, Vess.
You can and must, because those are your orders.
They'll die, please.
We're done. Dismissed.
How'd you wind up here?
How'd you wind up here?
Came with the army, of course. Its remnants. When Nilfgaard crossed the Yaruga, I dropped everything, threw it all away to hell and rode for the front to fight the invader. Joined the Second Temerian army under John Natalis. We were to stop the Black One's advance along the Dol Blathana Mount Carbon line. And we did. For 3 days. Then they smashed us into splinters. Soon after, I heard Radovid was assembling his forces near Novigrad. That he'd promised to fight for a free North. Broke through with the remains of Natalis' army, but...
But
Radovid proved no better than Emir. So I decided I would mount my own fight.
Good man.
What do you do here? Hunt Scoia'tael?
You jest, right? Who cares about the Scoia'tael anymore? Temerian, that's what matters.
That there is a hell of a line coming from Vernon Roche. In The Witcher 2, he is all about killing Scoia'tael. That's just what he do. He kills Scoia'tael. Again, I'm probably going to try and cut all these out, but I'm going to be coughing a lot, so if there's breaks in my commentary, I'm probably coughing like a madman. Or sneezing, or spluttering. I'm looking for Wiley, also known as Horson Jr.
Looking for Horson Jr.
I've heard of him. Though I'm not sure why you think he might be in my camp.
Heard some birds chirping. You've got some of the same friends. Both seem to count Radovid among your allies.
These birds. They're terribly talkative. I'll need to see them. You'll have to point them out.
Meantime, Vernon, willing to help or do I need to keep looking?
As always, you've more luck than you deserve. I'm on my way to meet my Redanian contact. We're meeting near Oxenford, at a chess club.
Thanks. Knew I could count on you.
Which they can't catch the pox. Isn't that right?
Yes, that is right, technically. Cool, so we can go meet Roche.
Just what our band of merry men need.
It's really dark in here. I'm looking for Vess.
It's true you killed kings. You and our commander.
No, technically not.
The other side of the river. One false move, and you
That was Letho.
Now, which
He was incredibly efficient at it, to be honest. Killing kings. I can't find Vess anywhere.
It's true you killed kings. You and our commander.
Maybe she's not here. Alright, anyway. We're gonna go and... Whoa, I got disoriented. Where's the exit? There's the exit.
will pay for the free Temerian.
I'm gonna go meet Roche. Or Roche. It's pronounced Roche. It's Vernon Roche. That's how it's always been pronounced, but it's a... We can actually just teleport directly to Novigrad Gate, which is good. With this rain, it makes everything insanely dark. There we go. And there's Vernon.
My contact should be...
Ready?
My contact awaits at the chess club. Let's get this over with.
Who's the contact?
Your contact. Who is it?
Slippery little bugger. I'd have nothing to do with him. Were the circumstances any different?
Mean you don't trust him?
I trust no one, including you.
It's a wise attitude.
Come
Particularly because in the canon of this game, I'm pretty sure I betrayed him for Yorvith. But he's cool about it. Yeah, it's a shitload of guards for a contact, isn't it?
Something's not right.
Let's see what.
Checkmate.
He cheated.
They say it's the game of kings. That chess teaches one to think strategically. What a load of rubbish. Both sides have identical pieces. The rules stay invariably the same. How does this mirror real life? Witcher, do you know why I play chess?
have no idea.
I play chess to reveal the game's secret. Blood thumps inside these chessmen. You need only listen, and you will hear. Dub-dub, dub-dub, dub-dub. A heart pumping with life. I take a pawn, and I hear flesh being rent. I win a piece, and I hear screams from the depths of its bowels. I want to break the chessmen open. Squeeze the truth from them. Do you see what I mean?
I mean, I get the metaphor, but I also have a sneaking suspicion that Radovid is crazy enough that it's only half metaphor.
Yes, sire, believe I do.
You know shit. You're merely humoring me. I was not speaking literally. First hidden truth. A monarch is always surrounded by fools. Understand?
No, still don't get it.
Unimportant. Let us speak. Why have you brought the Witcher here?
I think he'd best explain.
Expected a Redanian spy. Had no idea we'd be meeting a king.
When you've an opportunity to omit intermediaries, I'd suggest you avail yourself of it.
Probably a fair idea, actually. Less likely that your secret's gonna disappear if you're the one giving them directly.
I'm looking for Cyprian Wiley, Horson Jr. I know Redania supports him.
Why do you seek him?
It's personal.
Fair enough. I'll not pry. I have placed Junior in a mansion in Oxenfurt. Very few know this. They'll not let you in unannounced. Thus, you must tell them you've come about the new whores. Junior constantly requests fresh women. I hear he doesn't treat them well.
I appreciate the gesture, Your Majesty.
A king should be severe towards his foes, generous to his friends. Apart from which, I'll expect you to return the favor.
Huh.
And also, Junior has lost his purpose. The Big Four is no more. I shall contact you to collect in due course. Now go. And you, Roche. We must speak another time.
Radovid's sinking ever deeper into madness as I see it.
I know where to find Junior. Don't really care beyond that.
Geralt, come to think of it, I too wanted to ask a favor. I have a terrible problem with Vess. Need someone to talk some sense into her. Come see me at the camp. I'll tell you more.
Let me think about it. See you, Roche.
Honestly, don't need to think about it that much.
Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
I like Vess, and I don't particularly want to see her die. We're gonna go do that right now. We should be able to get up to... Interesting. The camp has a teleporter. Yep, camp has a teleporter right at the front of it, which is really nice.
A witch. Just what I found. Slash right, slash
You've been here, you've been there. So tell me, is it really the
This is all over.
Now, witches,
I
they
ain't
can't catch the pox. Isn't that right?
A proper one.
Geralt of Rivia, safe and sound.
Mentioned you have a problem.
It's Vess. She took a couple of lads across the river. She plans to hit the Black Ones at Mulberdale.
So, sounds about like what guerrilla fighters do.
Yes, when they're ordered to. Whereas I forbade her from leaving camp. Indefinitely.
Don't trust Vess anymore.
Bollocks. She's prepared to die for me. Ah, that's not the problem. Know what distinguishes a soldier from a common swashbuckler?
The uniform?
It's a serious question.
A rhetorical one. So instead of waiting for an answer, just enlighten me.
Soldiers think tactically. They know when to strike, when to fall back, when to charge and when to hold. Vess finds this difficult. She's impulsive, hot-headed. Yet in guerrilla warfare, one false step and you're fucked. I confined her to the camp because I feared that sent out she'd go rabid and make a mistake. I was right.
Not necessarily. Because she went out of frustration because you confined her. And I have a very hard time believing that Roche actually explained this to Vess because he's a dick.
Why Mulberrydale? Why'd Vess go there?
The peasants from the village aided us earlier. The Nilfgaardians learned of this. Word got out they're planning a punitive expedition. Probably hang every 5th villager.
Honestly, Vess's desire to save the villagers makes sense. What doesn't is your opposition to the plan.
War means death. Not only for the soldiers, for the common folk as well. You can't save them all, it's that simple.
Funny. Had you for an idealist.
You were right to. Are right to. But I have one ideal. A free Temeria. And I'm prepared to sacrifice anything for it.
Alright, so you've got a problem. Insubordination. What am I supposed to do about it?
I doubt Vess has entered the village. More likely she and the boys lie in wait in the woods nearby. We must find her before she attacks and stop her. You're a good tracker. Help me.
Count on it.
Count me in.
Thanks, Geralt. I'll owe you a favor.
Nah.
Meet me in Velen beneath the Hanged Man's tree. It's just a short jaunt from there to Mulberrydale.
This is actually where we first entered, entered here from the tutorial area.
You've been here, you've been there.
We have a bunch of these to read, actually. Yeah, let's read them. 18 minutes. I'll read these, do the Vess quest, and then we'll be done. But the Troll. Actually, no, you know what? I'll read these after we do the Vess quest. That way, if you guys don't want to listen to them, you can just end the video rather than having to skip.
You trouble me, Grandma.
The way down here to the Hangman's Tree. Apologies if I forget to cut that one out. That was... Oy. Hey, Rich.
It's the village below. Black with Nilfgaardians already. They're preparing to execute folk.
No sign of Vess.
She may be impetuous, but she's not stupid. She's waiting for her moment. Probably attack after dusk once... Shh. What now?
A trio, lightly equipped, sneaking closer. Over there, near the...
Death to the Black One!
Mer! Circa!
Cap Mer!
Looks like we're too
Circa.
late.
Geralt, we have to help. Follow me.
You follow me. Too slow. I got Witcher speed. Oh god, don't kill Vess.
Any last words?
Oh god.
You'll never learn.
Insta death. Bitch. Gotcha.
God damn it, Vess. Have you gone completely mental? You ignore my orders, go off on a suicide mission, and instead of donning a breastplate, you dash into battle, shirt open, navel and whatnot exposed.
You're not my father, Roche. You've no right to tell me what to wear.
But I am your commander, and you will obey me. Guerrilla warfare. Warfare! It involves armies, for fuck's sake.
I could not abandon them. They helped us.
It's a soldier's job to kill, Vess, not save, not rescue. If that is not to your liking, join the Sisters of Melitele, study to be a healer. Fucking hell. Give me your weapon. You'll get it back when you wise up, if you wise up. Move out!
Ren.
One left.
You took my weapon, Roche. So I must manage with my bare hands.
Leave him alone. There are corpses enough here.
What?
You heard me.
I did, and I can't believe it. He came here to murder civilians. He's seen us. Will you have him return to his camp and report?
Emir knows we can kill his men. Let him learn that we can also show mercy.
Roche is right. Besides, killing a defenseless...
What is it with you, Roche? Did the Witcher take your stones? They're sadists. He's the occupier.
I will explain later. You, Nilfgaardian, piss off.
Morentai. Nes dirmad ava.
Go, before I change my mind. We should go before a patrol comes along. Thank you, Geralt. Ever need any help, you know where to find me.
Indeed I do. Hey, and a level up.
Master Witcher, there's an elven burial ground in the caverns nearabouts mid-copse. There are monsters roaming about it.
Thank you. That there is really cool. This random guy walked past and he saw, oh, there's a Witcher here. There's a problem with monsters over there. Go help, please. I love that about this game. So now I've got to loot everything because AutoLoot didn't work for these bodies specifically. Alright, so we're going to fast travel back to Roche's camp. Because I want to go talk to Vess and Roche as well. Regarding that. Ooh, excuse me. Regarding what just went down. And then we'll read those character entries and that'll be it.
A Witcher. Just what our band of merry men.
Hey, Vess.
You've been here, you've been there.
I'm not interested.
So tell me,
Fair enough.
is it really the fact?
She has her sword back, notably.
You trouble, Alex.
I don't know if he's going to have anything else, but we'll see.
Geralt of Rivia. Safe and sound.
Nah, nothing new.
So long.
So, we're just going to read those character entries, and that's going to be it for this episode. So, if you're not interested in the character entries, you can safely end the video now, and I'll say thank you for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. And for the rest of you who are interested in these character entries, let's go over them now. But, one's disappeared. I can't remember what it was, though. I think it was Cleaver? Anyway, Bart the Troll. Bart the Troll, guarding Dijkstra's treasure, could have been the poster boy for the latest craze among Novigrad's wealthy strata. A trend that had swept over everyone from bankers to merchants to underworld crime bosses. The fashion in question prized guards marked not by just by fierce loyalty, but also by massive size, endless stamina, and crushing physical strength. A well-developed intellect, on the other hand, was considered unnecessary and quite possibly detrimental to the guard's performance. To be blunt, a good watchman should be brainless enough to render any thought of betraying his master impossible. That is why trolls, ogres, and as a last resort, magic crossbreeds were highly prized for such roles. Dijkstra. The individual masquerading as Siggy Reuven was in fact none other than Sigismund Dijkstra, the former head of Redanian intelligence and a man Geralt Geralt and I had many dealings with in the past. He'd fallen out of King Radovid's favour, and nothing had been heard of him for many years. Now it seemed he had finally decided to emerge from the shadows, but instead of returning to high political wrangling, he dove deep into the criminal underground, and quickly surfaced as one of its leading figures. Though he did not show it, in his own way, Dijkstra respected Geralt, even though the very thought of their last meeting brought a pained grimace to his face. He broke his leg, or his knee, technically. The two had found themselves standing in each other's way during a coup in Thanade Island. The stalemate was quickly broken when Geralt summarily broke Dijkstra's leg. At the knee, by the way. He, smashed it, his knee sideways. Which, that's a bad way to break someone's leg. This spy's life story would make for a positively enthralling adventurous tale. A victim of Philip Eilhart's intrigues, he had been forced to flee Redania at breakneck speed, or have his own neck broken by assassins. For a certain time he sought refuge in far-off lands, but in the end he decided to enter the free city of Novigrad. Well aware of Geralt's extraordinary talents, Dijkstra asked him to help find his stolen treasure. Though Geralt knew the identity of the criminal mastermind responsible, he decided not to divulge this information and set about investigating as if the case were a complete mystery. Though the Witcher's lips remained tightly sealed regarding my role in the treasure heist, Dijkstra still sniffed out his dishonesty and made it clear how much he disliked being played for a fool. Dudu Bibevelt, or Bibevelt. Geralt and I had known the Doppler Dudu for years, from before the moment he had actually met him, in fact. You see, we first unwittingly talked to him when he was in Novigrad impersonating another friend of mine, a halfling merchant named Dainty Bibevelt. Dudu, who had assumed Dainty's form, to use the merchant's network of contacts for some business endeavours of his own. Dainty was infuriated at first at his inability to locate the imposter who had inserted himself into his dealings. When Dudu's investments began generating sizable returns, the halfling changed his tune. He took the Doppler on as a partner, introduced him to everyone as his cousin, Dudu Bibevelt. Ciri, Dudu and I all embroiled ourselves in quite the fiasco, but unlike me, the Doppler was not caught by the Temple Guard. Elihal. Geralt erroneously interpreted one of my notes to mean that Elihal and I had been a couple. Alas, while anyone would be thrilled to count this outstanding elf, wonderful conversation partner and superb tailor among their conquests, in fact no, more than friendship and fine wine had never passed between us. Geralt found this out when he visited Elihal's tailor shop, where he also got a first-hand glimpse of the elf's unusual hobby, adopting the dress and mannerisms of those different from himself in race, sex, and social status. Louisa Lavalette. Baroness Maria Louisa Lavalette was a talk of Temeria in her time. This noblewoman had been King Foltest's mistress and even bore him 2 illegitimate children. This caused quite the scandal and prompted several notable families to take up arms in revolt, only to be bloodily crushed by the king's forces, who took Lavalette Castle during a hard-fought siege. To the Baroness's good fortune, Geralt of Rivia was with King Foltest at the time and saved her son Arion from a fate that otherwise would have been his for having participated in the revolt. Louisa Lavalette thus had every reason to think quite highly of the Witcher, and her esteem became quite apparent the next time they crossed paths. That's interesting, actually, is the fact that I've never actually played a game of The Witcher 3 in which The Witcher 2 save you killed Arion. I'm sure it probably makes a difference. Priscilla. As a poet and a romantic, I have immortalized in flowery verse the charms both corporeal and spiritual of many women. Yet when I open my mouth to sing the praises of Priscilla, I find, hard as this might be to conceive, that my throat constricts. Words turn to metal in my mouth, and all elaborate turns of speech seem artificial and empty when compared to the natural beauty, talent, sensitivity, and intellect nature has bestowed her. Priscilla, or Calanetta, the stage name under which she gained artistic renown, was, around the time of our story's beginning, enjoying the last stop on a triumphant tour of concerts that had taken her from the sumptuous courts of Lanexeter and Pontfanis through Tredegor and Caliph, finally bringing her to the glorious city of Novigrad. Interesting line here. You can see that he clearly actually cares for her incredibly. This is all written by Dandelion, by the way, all these character entries. He clearly loves her a lot. Radovid V the Stern. It did not take long for King Radovid of Redania to prove himself a hard and ruthless ruler, one fully deserving to be titled the Stern. His father, King Vizimir, was murdered when Radovid was quite young, and his mother, Hedwig of Malleor, Malior, and a regency council ruled in his stead. Young Radovid soon seized power in his own right, however, and wrought vengeance on those who had treated him with disrespect. He took to forcing all his potential political opponents to swear allegiance or face death. He waged war not only against Nilfgaard, but also against mages, whom he saw as the root of all evil. That's entirely Philippa's fault. Radovid also made every effort to gain control over the free city of Novigrad, whose fleet and treasury could tip the scales in the ongoing conflict in his favour. Geralt's meeting with Radovid confirmed the rumours circulating the king's mental state. The Redanian monarch was a dangerous madman trapped in his own world of disturbing visions. This did not make him one jot less intelligent or cunning, however. Despite his mental afflictions, the young king was manipulating his opponents like a highly skilled puppet master. Vernon Roche. As commander of Temerian Special Forces, an elite squadron known only as the Blue Stripes, Vernon Roche had been one of King Foltest's most trusted subordinates. Time and time again, Roche has proved himself loyal, effective, and thoroughly professional. Few could match his skill at subduing revolts, fighting off Nilfgaardians, or snuffing out bands of Scoia'tael. At the start of our story, however, he had lost his king, his men, and his homeland, and so had resorted to waging a guerrilla war against the overwhelming occupying forces. In his war of assassinations, ambushes, and night raids, Roche demanded on Redanian help, though it was clear he took no pleasure from working with Radovid. We have Vess. Vess was a veteran officer of the Blue Stripes and the only soldier from Roche's former unit to have survived the war. After the Blue Stripes had decimated and officially disbanded, Vess remained at her commander's side to continue with him the seemingly hopeless struggle for Temerian freedom. Energetic and tough, Vess had always impressed with her skill with crossbow and sword alike, outshooting and outswinging all the men in her unit at a laughable degree. Though usually well-disciplined, Vess refused to heed Vernon's commands and set off alone to face enemy's forces. Vess's rash move landed her in a horrible pot of trouble that only Geralt's sword could dish her out of. That's a good line. Orson Jr. Cyprian Wiley, the younger, was one of Novigrad's most dangerous criminals. He had inherited his father's casinos, fighting ring, and brothels, as well as the old man's sadistic tendencies, ruthlessness, and a lack of scruples. These traits had made the moniker Horson something of a family heirloom for his powerful criminal clan. Cyprian also took after his father in terms of ambition. He broke the unwitting armistice between Novigrad's various criminal groups and tried to murder the other three leading overworld bosses. Horson's audacity had a very specific cause, King Radovid, who had commissioned the gangster's actions. As it turns out, Radovid's plan was for Horson to start a gang war in Novigrad. In the resulting chaos, Radovid would take control of the city with ease. It's not a bad plan, in all honesty. When the quote-unquote government of the entire town is essentially made up of those four criminals, you get them to have a gang war, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to actually get in there. And the last one I think was Cleaver? I think it was Cleaver. A joke circulates that the back alleys and seedy taverns of Novigrad, it claims the dwarf Carlo Verus, one of the four leading lights of the local criminal strata, was, in his own way, a fierce opponent of racial coexistence. Proponent, not opponent. He applied his principles in a somewhat selective fashion, however. Clearly firmly felt that, as an assimilated dwarven resident of the city of Novigrad, he had every right to ruin his own business. Anyone who had a problem with that, with the way he ran it or with the nature of his dealings, be they dwarf, human or halfling, revealed themselves a vile racist, and what was the only fitting thing to do with such scum? Why, feed them to a herd of ferociously hungry hogs. Right after he sliced off their fingers with his namesake Cleaver. Naturally, such tales could very well have been mere rumour and slander, but very few had the courage to test their veracity. Cleaver was famed for his hot temper. What boiled his blood hottest of all, however, were folk who thought they could pull one over on him. No wonder then, when the attack on Horson's thugs riled him somewhat, the violent tirade he directed at Wiley clearly contained not idle threats, but promises he meant to keep, even if doing so meant leaving half a district of the city in ruins. Interesting, that. So essentially, anybody who goes against him he deems as a racist, and they're racist, therefore he can beat the shit out of them. And that's the reason for beating them up, not the fact that they double-crossed him. It's clever. And, sadly, that's all too relevant in this day and age. Scream racist, then kill someone. Let's see. that's going to be it for today's episode. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye, guys.